Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. Before I start, I'd like to thank our fans around the world for their support, our suppliers for their help over the past few years, as well as our friends at YouTube and Facebook for helping us live stream this keynote. I believe that we also have lots of new friends with us today. We're super excited to have you here, and it's a big day for all of us at OnePlus. We started OnePlus 3 years ago for a simple reason: to build an Android phone that we ourselves would want to use. Back then, companies focused on creating useless features just to stand out, even if they didn't benefit the user. People paid little attention to the details. Phones had lines that weren't straight and gaps where parts didn't align. How you got your phone also didn't make a lot of sense. People's contracts determined how and when they bought a phone, as opposed to having the freedom to get it when they wanted to. So our mission wasn't just to build a better smartphone, but also improve the way our industry worked. To succeed, we had to get a couple of things right. First, we had to design products based on a deep understanding of our users and their needs. It also meant refining every last detail, down to the smallest elements, often iterating at 0.01 millimeters at a time. Finally, we cut out the middleman and sold our products directly to our users. And that was the inspiration behind our tagline, "Never Settle." We knew that there were people out there who felt the same way we did, but we had no clue our ideas would resonate with so many. The OnePlus One was our first big statement, and the initial response was overwhelming. We could barely keep up. And even though it was our first product, the OnePlus One sold over 1.5 million units. This is very rare for any first product from a new company. People weren't just customers, they became a part of OnePlus. Soon after we launched, our community started growing really quickly. Being greeted by hundreds of excited fans at our offline events is always an emotional and rewarding experience. We know we're incredibly lucky to have so many supporters around the world who believe in us. There's not many brands that do, and we don't take this for granted. Following the OnePlus One, we created the OnePlus 2 and the OnePlus X, both products that received a lot of attention from all over the world. Next up were the OnePlus 3 and the 3T. We learned from the past, kept refining the product while keeping a close eye on feedback. The OnePlus 3T received an insane amount of awards and recognition, and was also our best product when it came to customer satisfaction. Consumers today are smarter than ever. Through a recent study, we learned that people are most likely to hear about OnePlus from family or friends. The world's best marketing campaign can no longer guarantee the success of a product nor beat genuine word of mouth. So we also have to make the best products for selfish reasons, because a great product speaks for itself. Recently, I've been reading a lot of feedback online. There are so many good phones out there on the market, yet I'm seeing that a lot of people are holding out for our next flagship before deciding on which phone to get. This is exciting to see, but it also puts a lot of pressure on us. Could have never dreamt of this day to happen. We started OnePlus for ourselves, but as the amount of people who believed in us grew, so did the expectations. Today, some compare us with the best companies in our industry, giving us big shoes to fill. What we're doing isn't just for ourselves anymore. Our mission has now become our responsibility. We have to keep making great products and cannot let all of those who believe in us down. So thanks again for joining us on the most important day in our history. I know a lot of OnePlus fans and our team members around the world have been waiting for this day, and that a lot of you are watching right now. With every year and every iteration, we've improved. Everything we've learned and accumulated throughout the ups and downs of the last few years has led to this moment. I'm humbled to present our 5th flagship smartphone, our most complete and competitive product ever. 1,281 days in the making, this is the OnePlus 5. There's a famous quote saying, "A cynic is someone who knows the price of everything, but the value of nothing." With smartphones, a cynic is someone who believes that a great product are just about its specs. We believe it's one of the least interesting parts of a product. So I'll give them to you all right now, just to get it over with. If you came just for the specs, you can leave now. For those of you who came for the right reasons, time to focus on what matters. Hey Una, what are you doing here? What have you got there? Thanks, Una. So what do you think? If specs aren't important, then what is? Great chefs don't just throw together every ingredient in the kitchen. Instead, they bring together ingredients that complement each other to create something truly special. We think that there are 6 main ingredients to focus on when it comes to creating the best smartphone. And that's what we're here to talk about today. The first thing people notice with any product is design. And design is all in the details. It's not uncommon for us to create a whole new prototype just to move a button by a fraction of a millimeter. A smartphone is made up of thousands of elements, and our work isn't done until nothing feels out of place. If you can't force yourself to revise until everything feels perfect, then how can you be sure that you made the best product? It took us over 100 physical iterations to reach a design that was both functionally slim and visually stunning. To tell the story, I'd like to welcome Diego, a designer at OnePlus who has been with us from the start. Hey, Diego.
Hi, Carl. Hey, everyone. I'm excited to tell you more about the design of the OnePlus 5. It's no secret that most of us spend a lot of time with our smartphones. Once you start using your OnePlus 5, it becomes so much more than just a collection of parts. It's what you use to capture moments, share memories, and keep in touch with the people you care about the most. With every new phone we build, we implement certain hallmarks of OnePlus design. One of these is a continuous hard edge. We drew inspiration from luxury car design, which uses powerful lines to accentuate strength and agility. In the OnePlus 5, this line gives the device a visually sleek appearance. We call it the horizon line. In the same way, the horizon separates the earth from the sky. This edge divides the phone's body, casting one half in light and another in shadow. So, what we will be looking at when you first pick up your OnePlus 5? You will immediately notice how slim it is. At 7.25 millimeter, the OnePlus 5 is the slimmest OnePlus flagship ever. Another feature that stands out is the alert slider on the left, which allows you to control how and when you are alerted right from your pocket using 3 notification profiles. Right below, you've got your volume rocker, the power buttons on the right, as is the SIM tray. On the front, you will find a 16-megapixel camera for crystal clear selfies and live streaming. If you look closely, you might also notice the speaker grill right here on the front. The fingerprint scanner unlocks your phone in just 0.2 seconds. On the bottom, we'll notice that we ditched the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. The elegance of the overall design is instantly heightened. And who needs a headphone jack anyway? That's why Bluetooth exists, right? Just kidding. Of course the OnePlus 5 had a headphone jack. Right here on the bottom, just look what you guys had to say. The USB Type-C connector is right here next to the headphone jack. All of the buttons and ports on the OnePlus 5 have been chamfered to fit in perfectly with the overall design. We even pay extra attention to parts you might never see, like matching the inside of the ports with the color of the device body. Let's move on to the back of the device. Every part of the phone has to be precisely crafted to fit into the all-metal unibody. One example is the new crescent-shaped antenna, which you'll find right here. It's integrated in the edges of the device to ensure it's barely noticeable against the curvature. And finally, we've added the new dual camera hub to the top left of the OnePlus 5. These are just some of the design stories. We don't expect you to notice all of the small details right away, but what makes the OnePlus 5 great is that we work hard to make sure every aspect contributes to a sleek and visually powerful design. We hope you will feel the thought and care that has gone into as you use your OnePlus 5. Before I hand the mic back to Carl, I'd just like to show off the two color options of the OnePlus 5 available at launch: Midnight Black and Slate Gray. Both colors are subdued in their elegance and were created with the same passion as the rest of the design. Every detail matters. Back to you, Carl.
Thanks, Diego. Let's take a selfie.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
That brings us straight to the second area we want to focus on today, the camera. The smartphone camera is the most widely used type of camera today. And for smartphone users, it's one of the most important features. For the OnePlus 5, we really doubled down on the camera with the focus on clarity. Over the past few years, smartphone cameras have been catching up with DSLRs at an astonishing speed, but we've almost reached the limit of what we can do. It's simply due to physical space. Professional cameras have sensors that are up to 50 times larger than what's found in a typical smartphone. Think of a lens as a window. The wider the lens, the more light can flow to the sensor. In turn, a larger sensor can capture more light, which improves image quality in low light conditions. Here, look at this example of a photo taken in low light with a DSLR versus a smartphone. See how the first photo is much more clear than the second one? A wide aperture also allows professional cameras to render a shallow depth of field effect, known as bokeh. This is really great for portraits. But if we were to fit the specs of a DSLR camera on the back of a smartphone, it would look a little like this. We had to look for another solution to bridge the remaining gap between smartphones and professional cameras. And our answer was implementing a dual camera on the OnePlus 5. We didn't just improve the main sensor, we also added a second one. By adding a telephoto lens to our camera, the OnePlus 5 can accurately determine the distance between the sensor and objects in the environment. This opens up a range of new photography options. But first, let's take a closer look at the hardware behind our new dual camera. Picking the right sensor is about more than just getting the latest one. Our goal was to make sure the OnePlus 5 dual camera finished first in the race for clarity. But none of the sensors found on the shelves matched our ambitions. So we teamed up with Sony to create a tailor-made solution, the IMX398, a 16 megapixel sensor. Then we added a 20 megapixel sensor with a telephoto lens next to it. They're the highest resolution dual camera system on a smartphone, letting you take extremely clear photos. Inside of the sensor, we've got something pretty special. It's fast AF. Basically, it works a lot like your eyes. Your brain needs two overlapping fields of vision in order to focus on something. If you cover one eye, it's a lot harder to focus because you can't calculate depth as well. With fast AF, we're using both eyes of our main lens. This allows it to more accurately calculate depth, speeding up autofocus by up to 40%. Like we mentioned, a large aperture is key to taking clear low-light shots. The OnePlus 5's main lens has an aperture of f1.7, one of the largest on a smartphone, which allows the camera to capture a lot of light. A larger aperture also allows for faster snaps and helps compensate for stuttering to improve image stabilization. If the lenses and sensors are the eyes of our camera, our smart capture software is the brain, improving the clarity of your photos quietly in the background. Let's look at a photo taken at night. It looks a little noisy, don't you think? Whenever you take a photo with a lot of noise, the OnePlus 5 will automatically clear up noise by comparing different frames of the same photo and filtering out inconsistencies. Just look at the photo once the noise is removed. Next up is the zoom. Zooming in digitally with a smartphone is nothing more than stretching pixels, which leads to a loss in quality. Smart Capture combines optical zoom with multi-frame technology to let you zoom in with greater clarity. Just look at the difference. Have you ever taken a shot of a friend in front of a window, only to end up with a black silhouette? We wanted to minimize the negative effects backlighting has on your pictures. The OnePlus 5's improved high dynamic range algorithm allows it to automatically adjust the photo to keep things clear in scenarios with backlighting, instead of casting some objects in the shadow. You're gonna use your camera to take all sorts of photos, like of friends and family, amazing landscapes, or that mustard grilled double-double with animal-style fries you had yesterday. Different scenarios require different optimizations. So we created a database using over 1,000 different photos to teach the Smart Capture chip how to optimize your shots. The The OnePlus 5 can recognize the type of photo you're taking and automatically set the ideal exposure, white balance, and focus. Now, we talked about the hardware and the software. Next up are the features. We invited our friend, Emily Radakowski, to help break it down.
Hi guys, Emily here. I'd like to take a couple minutes to talk about the OnePlus 5's dual camera and how it ups my Instagram game. To show you what I mean, I'm gonna take 6 Instagram shots in 20 seconds. Ready? You might be wondering what just happened. Let me explain. In this first shot, I used the new portrait mode. The OnePlus 5 has 2 camera sensors that work together to create a focal separation between faces and backgrounds. Like this. When you shoot a portrait, you want the focus to be on the person you're capturing and nothing else. Separating the background from a face enables the OnePlus 5 to apply a professional-looking depth of field, or bokeh, effect you'd normally need a DSLR for. A custom software algorithm adds a finishing touch to make sure your subject is clear and well lit. I love taking nighttime photos, but hate it when they look grainy or blurry. The secret to a sharp and clear low-light photo is getting enough light to the camera's sensor. The bigger the aperture, the more light a camera can capture. So it's a good thing the OnePlus 5 packs a large f1.7 aperture, because remember, when thinking about aperture, the smaller the number, the bigger the aperture. Check this one out. When paired with the 20 megapixel telephoto lens, the OnePlus 5's dual camera system can shoot pictures at a higher resolution than any other smartphone camera around. So even at a large size, images are clear and maintain quality, just in case you want to hang one above your couch. When it comes to software, the OnePlus 5 camera has a pro mode with professional level tools to give you more control over your photos. So what can you control exactly? You can decide how much light gets in by changing the ISO or adjust the white balance to remove unnatural color contrast. Using manual focus, you can highlight what's important and make sure every shot is crisp by adjusting the shutter speed. You'll also find the new histogram in the upper right corner of your screen, which helps you gauge the exposure level in a photo in order to correct the brightness level. And if you'd like to optimize your shots after the fact, you can shoot in RAW and shift things like color and exposure when you're editing later. All of these features and the hardware that powers them mean the OnePlus 5 dual camera probably isn't just the best camera you have on you, but the best camera you own, period. Thanks for having me, Carl. All right, I gotta go post some of these to my feed.
Thanks, Emily. Now, those are some amazing shots. We hope you enjoy this look at our new dual camera. The OnePlus 5 was designed with an eye for clarity. In between the powerful new hardware and software, and great new features like portrait mode, the OnePlus 5 is our best smartphone camera yet. But the best way to back up the OnePlus 5's tagline, dual camera, clearer photos, is by showing you some of the great shots taken on the OnePlus 5 by some of our photographer friends. Look at the amount of details in this photo. They're really, really clear. And check out this portrait. Check out the bokeh effect. This one was taken by me. Burgers on fleek. The worst thing that can happen when taking photos is running out of battery. Please join me in welcoming Kyle, our head of marketing, to tell you a little bit more about charging. Hey.
Thanks, Carl. So let's talk about charging. Tell me if this has ever happened to you before. Busy day, have a lot to do, grab your phone to head out, take a look, low battery. Not ideal. At the same time, it doesn't necessarily make sense to charge your phone for 8 hours. You only need to charge it for 2. So how do you solve the problem? At OnePlus, we're always looking for technologies that improve the user experience in a meaningful way. To solve the problem of slow and inefficient charging, we developed Dash Charge. With most quick charging technologies, your phone can get hot, charging slows, and performance suffers. With Dash Charge, we move the power management away from the phone to the adapter. Your phone stays cool, charging remains consistent, even when you're using your phone while charging. Dash Charge isn't just faster, it's also cooler and smarter. That's enough talk for me, though. Let's see how dash charge compares to other quick charging technologies out there. So, we hooked up a OnePlus 5 and a Samsung Galaxy S8 for a charge off. Let's watch. Do you use your phone when you charge? I do. Let's see what happens when the phones are in use. Dash charge changes the way you use your smartphone. Many of our users have shared stories with us of how they no longer have to charge their OnePlus phones overnight. They just charge while they're getting ready in the morning, on their way to work in their car, or simply when they top up when they have a few extra minutes in the afternoon or the evening. With dash charge, we like to say a day's power in half an hour. Let's move on to the fourth area we'll be covering today, something we call smoothness. So let me give you an example. Imagine you're long day, tired, want to relax, come home, put on your favorite song, listening, and halfway through, it skips. Even if it's just for a half second, it ruins the experience. In daily use, you don't need to know what every part of your phone does, as long as everything just works. And you only really notice something when it doesn't work. Even a millisecond of lag can ruin your overall experience. What makes an experience smooth can be hard to define, but it's important. There are 6 key aspects we focus on to create a smooth experience on the OnePlus 5. And it's a combination of hardware and software and how well they work together. Let's go through them. First on the list today is our new platform, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835. I'd like to welcome our good friend, the Executive Chairman of Qualcomm, Paul Jacobs, to shed some light on how we use one of the world's most advanced processors to enhance your user experience. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Kyle. Thanks a lot for having me.
Take it away.
Hey, it's really great to be able to join you all here today. Qualcomm's really proud to once again have collaborated with OnePlus on this latest flagship device. And needless to say, we are really excited about OnePlus 5 and its smooth, innovative user experience powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 mobile platform. By the way, this is the world's first 10-nanometer mobile chipset. Snapdragon 835 is loaded with advanced features, including powerful processing, fiber-like LTE connectivity, stunning graphics, and exceptional multimedia capabilities. So whether you're streaming high-def movies, or you're playing graphics-intensive games, or you're downloading videos, Snapdragon 835 has the power and performance to deliver incredible mobile experiences. And while the Snapdragon 835 is big on computing power, it's 25% more power efficient than our previous generation mobile platform. That's something that power users are really going to appreciate. To deliver the ultimate photography and video capture experiences, we've engineered the Snapdragon 835 with dual image sensor processors, fast autofocus, and HDR true-to-life colors. It also features cutting-edge low-light technology that makes it possible for you to capture life almost as accurately and quickly as your eyes do. So powered by Snapdragon, the OnePlus 5 is a truly premium smartphone that combines the best in performance, power, and efficiency. And I know that consumers are going to love this thing.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Kyle.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So it doesn't look like we're going to be short on power in the processor department. But what about RAM? Apps on your phone today are becoming bigger, prettier, shinier, and more demanding by the day. The OnePlus 5 packs up to 8 gigabytes of RAM. But that number's not just for show. The more RAM, the faster you can switch between apps, and the more apps you can run. And as a result, anything on your phone happens almost instantly. So Diego already showed us how incredibly thin the OnePlus 5 is. But despite being incredibly thin, it offers great battery life. We switched to LPDDR4X RAM, a more efficient standard of DRAM, which offers 20% more efficiency than the last generation. The OnePlus 5 is also one of the first smartphones to feature a 10-nanometer processor, which draws up to 40% less power than larger 14 nanometer processors found in most other smartphones. But the power efficiency isn't just improved by hardware. It's also improved by major software optimizations. One of the software features we'd like to talk about today is app priority. So when I turn on my phone in the morning, there's a couple things I usually do. Check the news, some messenger apps, catch up on some email. App priority has the apps you use the most often ready to go when you turn on your phone, so you don't have to wait for those apps to open. In addition, it also deprioritizes the apps you use the least to keep them from affecting performance, but also draining the battery. Again, it's just as much about the overall feeling of smoothness as it is about speed. Running a lot of apps is one thing, but you also need a place to store them. The OnePlus 5's improved storage is based on UFS 2.1 dual-lane technology, which ensures that transferring files is consistently smooth. In the past, we could only use one lane to transfer data, but by adding a second lane, we've got twice as much bandwidth. And in day-to-day use, this means that reading and writing files is up to 50% faster than before. Finally, let's take a look at the smoothness of our touch input. Even the slightest lag can ruin navigation. When our team started researching ways to reduce touch latency, there weren't really common benchmarks or practices for them to look at. They did tests while scrolling differed between phones. We actually brought in a special high-speed camera to track the movement on the screen and to measure input speeds. The result, we dramatically improved input speeds on the OnePlus 5, and we think you'll notice the difference. You can count on the OnePlus 5 for a consistently smooth and effortless experience, thanks to our combination of top-tier hardware and intelligent software, and how they've been designed together to work seamlessly. Speaking of software, let's take a closer look at Oxygen OS, our clean and powerful operating system. I'd like to bring back Diego to talk how we've approached software on the OnePlus 5. Take it away, Diego.
Thanks, Kyle. Software is number 5 on the list of things we want to talk about today. With Oxygen OS, we thought of Android as a starting point rather than a destination. We didn't want to mess with the foundation. Instead, we focused on refining the user experience and building useful, convenient features. Features are only added to the OnePlus 5 once we're confident they can improve the way you use your phone. But a good operating system is about more than just features. What's just as important is how the phone feels when you use it. We've refined the most important parts of our software, from things you will instantly notice, like customization options, to things that help in the background, like improvements to power efficiency. Just like our hardware, our approach to software is centered on an experience that is refined, efficient, and minimalistic. By implementing non-intrusive optimizations, we hope you will notice a general sense of refinement and cohesion. Let's talk about 2 useful features coming to the Oxygen OS on the OnePlus 5. If you like to read, you know that carrying around a smartphone and an e-reader is a bit of a hassle. So I've developed a new reading mode to make reading long-form material on the OnePlus 5 just as comfortable as reading an actual book. While you can read for hours from a book or an e-reader without issue, looking at the smartphone display can cause eye strain after a while. If you're in a room with warm lighting, physical paper will look warm as well. Historically, smartphone screens have lacked this characteristic. Whites are incredibly white, even in warm lighting. With the OnePlus 5, we've added an ambient sensor that can detect the color temperature and brightness of the environmental light and calibrate the display automatically to match the light around you. Through grayscale mapping and by filtering out blue light, reading mode provides a more natural and comfortable reading experience. Reading mode can be toggled on and off manually, or you can set your favorite reading apps to open it automatically. Here, let me try opening the Kindle app right now. Did you notice that the brightness and colors of the screen change? That's because I set Kindle app to turn on the reading mode automatically. Looks a lot like paper, right? So get the flexibility of a smartphone with the comfort of an e-reader. The second feature is expanded screenshots, which we created after we realized just how unintuitive it was to have to take multiple screenshots just to capture a single page. Let me show you how it works. All you gotta do is swipe down with your 3 fingers and hit the expand button. The screen automatically starts scrolling down, saving everything on the page until you hit the button again. It's another great example of how a simple feature can make your life a little easier. Aside from useful features, many small refinements were made to Oxygen OS. Just like our hardware, you might not immediately notice all that we've done, but they add to the overall experience. Let's take a look at one example. In the past, opening up the app drawer took you out of the home screen. By slightly decreasing the opacity, the app drawer feels a lot less heavy and it's a more natural part of the launcher. Of course, we've just scratched the surface of Oxygen OS today. Our mission was to refine by adding meaningful features, optimizing performance, and streamlining the software. Reading mode is a great example of how a new hardware like the ambient sensor can enable meaningful features. Even small improvements like the semi-transparent app drawer add up to a more refined design language. To experience all that's new, you'll have to check it out for yourself. Having a strong understanding of our users is important. I'd like to talk more about how your feedback influenced some of the important changes we've made for the OnePlus 5. In our effort to make products that really meet our user needs, we have to first acknowledge and identify what we can improve on. We aren't perfect, but Eversettle is about always striving to be. User feedback played a huge role in the development of the OnePlus 5. We like to say that the OnePlus 5 was created together, hand in hand with you. In fact, we printed right on the back of every box. To develop better products and improve our software, we ask users to share feedback early and often. This means scouring the web, whether that's on the forums, Reddit, through customer support, or social media. It also means setting up platforms and kickstarting user-driven initiatives. We love engaging with our users at our many pop-up, tour, and events around the world. What's more important is how we use that feedback to improve our products. Let's look at a few examples. First, we would like to take a minute to talk about the OnePlus 3 display. Back when we had just launched, some users reached out to us with concerns about the accuracy of the calibration. Although we were happy with the range of colors, some felt we didn't get it right. Their feedback inspired us to push an update with a new color mode. We believe one of the secrets to building a great product is working with users on features they care about. Now you can switch between color display modes depending on your personal preference. Even those who were initially disappointed with our display eventually came around. Let's move on to our next example. We wanted to make sure the OnePlus 5 is a truly global device. We have users all over the world, and it's nice to travel without having to worry if your phone will work. So for the first time ever, the OnePlus 5 is a true world phone with support for 34 network bands across the globe. Another request we implemented in the OnePlus 5 is an improved vibration motor. Some of our users pointed out that the OnePlus 3's vibration could get rather noisy, and rightfully so. After all, vibration is supposed to alert you quietly. So we've added a stronger and quieter vibration motor to the OnePlus 5. This issue wasn't even on our radar until our users brought it up, and it goes to show just how much your feedback can help improving our products. Customer feedback allows us to develop and improve a number of facets of our new device, and we can't wait to hear your thoughts on the OnePlus 5. And now I would like to bring back Carl one more time to wrap things up.
Thanks, Diego. So, in case you were wondering why the OnePlus 5 is our best device yet, I hope we gave you an answer. It's a result of 3.5 years of constant improvement and refinement. Over those years, we've learned a lot about the importance of focus. For the OnePlus 5, that meant focusing on 6 things. The design is minimalistic and crafted with an obsessive attention to detail. Every aspect of the dual camera works together in order to help you take clearer photos. Dash Charge changes the way you charge your phone by providing a day's power in just half an hour. New hardware and software that power the OnePlus 5's performance are focused on smoothness. Our operating system, Oxygen OS, brings refinement and useful features to the table. And finally, we continuously improve with the help of your feedback. Every part of the OnePlus 5 adds up to a complete package. It's the best smartphone and the best smartphone camera we've ever created. In the long run, there are 2 things that really matter to customers, no matter the industry. The first is product, and hopefully it's clear how much we put into our product. The second is service. When we started, our global customer service team consisted of just 5 people. We've grown a lot, both in terms of numbers and the way we serve our customers. It's always been our ambition to offer every single OnePlus user around the world a great experience from start to finish. I wanted to share a quick look at the team helping customers every day.
OnePlus has come a long way since we started. It's really incredible that we've been able to establish ourselves as such a key player in a really competitive industry. And it really just comes down to one simple idea, which is just to create the best user experience. But I think the best user experience is not just about the product. It has to be about the love and the passion for what you do and how customers can see that. We actually started with only 5 people in customer service, and now we have more than 500 people in customer support in more than 10 locations around the world. So if a device needs to be repaired, all you have to do is contact us through one of our many different channels of support, and we've got everything taken care of for you. Everything from pickup and transport to repairs and returns.
Customer support is the first point of contact. It's basically the face of the company. It really encourages you to do better because you can see how it impacts someone.
On an average for a day, we are taking about 500 calls, and that's actually covering from 4 a.m. Eastern until 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year.
With this job, I actually get to interact a lot with customers in different countries. In a way, I get to learn their culture, so it's really a fun and learning experience for me. It feels like it's like reading a book.
We also have multilingual support in local regions so that, for example, if you're from France, all you have to do is go to the website and you can speak directly to one of our French agents.
I had a customer that had a problem, and always he was, I want to speak with Paula, I want to speak with Paula, I want to speak with Paula. We are here to help, so they are coming like, I don't know how to explain. If you want, I can say in French.
When you have a customer asking for a particular agent, I would say at that point it's like a small friendship.
Because we sell all our products online, naturally we're a global company. But a big step for us was to open our regional locations in Europe and the US. Now our warehouses and repair centers are a lot closer to customers, so this has actually helped us to reduce the turnaround time for all of our customer service matters by more than 3 times since we launched the OnePlus One.
Our facility here in Texas is to repair for all of the United States. So if we receive your phone on Monday, it'll ship to you as soon as Wednesday and be back to your home on Friday. We'll do everything to fix your phone and get it back to you as fast as possible.
You, me, everybody else, we're all dependent on our phones. I feel good knowing that they got their phone back already in working condition. That way they can go on with their lives, taking selfies.
My favorite part coming to this job is being able to troubleshoot, and it would go back to my days as a kid when I used to play Legend of Zelda or just do some Rubik's Cube, or I enjoyed being able to triumph over the puzzle, and that's what I really like.
We have a blackboard where we used to display beautiful messages from our customers, and they are actually remembering the agents' names and they are thanking for the support we offered. So this is pretty cool. For example, if you write something like they are impeccable, I'm being like, great.
Once a customer called me, "You are my hero." And it was funny because it's a small thing, and saying "you are my hero," I never forgot that.
We're a family that grows with every new user that we have. And that's, I think, what our customer support is really all about.
Before we move on, let's take a moment to talk about some exciting new accessories and lifestyle products developed to complement your OnePlus 5. Here's a quick preview of what's new. In the beginning, we just wanted to make backpacks and t-shirts to give away to our fans. These products ended up becoming a lot more popular than we expected, so we decided to make them on a larger scale. You might have already spotted a dog-sized version of our new backpack, but just in case you missed it, let's bring Una back. This new backpack is going to be available for humans as well. The new carbon bumper case provides solid protection from edge to edge while keeping your OnePlus 5 sleek and stylish. Finally, we're happy to be working with our friends over at OtterBox, the #1 selling case for smartphones, for a series of cases built from the ground up with safety in mind. This was just a very quick look at our accessories. Be sure to head to oneplus.net to see them all and learn more. So, we're getting pretty close to the end, which leaves us with one last question. How much is it going to cost? Well, it's hard to keep a secret these days. Before today, you've probably already seen most of the specs and leaks of the price online. But you know what? The internet got it wrong this time. The OnePlus 5 will retail for $479 in the US and 499 euros in Europe. For our friends over in Europe and North America, you'll be able to pre-order the OnePlus 5 right after the end of this event at oneplus.net. Through our limited early drop event, you'll be able to get your phone before everyone else. You'll also have access to limited launch offers. Our teams will be celebrating around the world at our many pop-up events. Come join us in one of these cities to get your hands on the OnePlus 5 even earlier. Be sure to check out oneplus.net for more information. I hope to see you there. For everyone else, the OnePlus 5 will be available officially starting June 27th. The OnePlus journey has been a huge passion project for all of our team members. It's been a crazy amount of work. We want to thank not only our team, but also their families for their support and understanding as we work to build the best products. Of course, we'd also like to extend a huge thank you to everyone who joined us today. We hope you're as pumped about the OnePlus 5 as we are. Thanks again, and never settle.